and a very welcome to you. My name is Liam Jarrett. This is an introduction to an astrology and tarot workshop that I will be giving in person, locally, and I will also offer it virtually via online. This will be an introduction to the outline, and perhaps you might find some of this interesting and might want to participate. First, we will go over the definitions of astrology, different methods used in the practice of astrology, and different approaches. Next, we will be going into the origins of astrology. Where does it come from? And we will also be looking into a comparison between Western and Eastern astrology as we have it today. We will also be doing a history of the tarot, and we will be going in depth in the course, looking at discovering the astrological references in the tarot. This course will be a course to bring us into the world of the occult, the secret, the esoteric meanings of many of our religious myths and stories. That is exciting. I believe I have some original content that I have not discovered in other places, and just the way that I put together what I've found and present it to you, I think will be original as well. One could be new to astrology, and one could be a seasoned veteran astrologer, and I would imagine that both may be interested in this course and could get something out of it. The benefits of astrology ultimately are written on the walls at the Temple of Delphi, at the Temple of Isis, Athena, the goddess, Nuit of the heavens, whose cloak is spangled with stars. To know thyself. These are mysteries that we are entering into. One would have to go through many initiations and trials and ordeals before they were revealed. This secret knowledge, gnosis, thanks to the advent of internet and technology, gathering information and sharing it, we have got a chance for revelation, for this stuff to be revealed. So it's an exciting time to be alive. So the benefits being self-discovery, the individuation process as made popular by Carl Jung. We will talk about the Jungian psychology and its presence in astrology and tarot, as well as other cosmological world views that astrology presents to us, meaning how existence is set up, the matrix, if you will. One thing astrology does, it brings one into a deeper relationship with their environment as well. Nature, the elements, the heavens, and earth. A criticism would be like an astrologer has his head in the clouds and it's not practical and grounded, but rather astrology really encourages one to be practical and environmentally aware, seeking psychological, soul, conscious evolution. It's exciting. We will also look into the fixed stars of the zodiac, but also other important stars. Astrology mainly focuses on the sun, the moon, in relationship to the earth, the planets, the visible heavenly luminaries, the classical planets, and now Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, even asteroids such as Ceres, Chiron. Then we have many points in the sky, which aren't objects but are measurements, such as dark moon Lilith, which is where the moon's path is at its furthest from Earth, or Arabic plots, such as the plot of fortune, which is a popular one. We'll look into a little bit about how those were calculated. But thanks to technology, we get all these plots without having to do a handwritten chart. And so we are also lucky in that sense that we have our astronomical sciences to give us data for the astrologer to interpret. Astrology is bringing meaning out of astronomy. That there's a reason for the rhyme. There's a reason for the seasons. And when something happens in a certain time of season, it carries that energetic stamp on it. One could look at the just relationship of the sun to earth and how important it is, namely giving light and life. Astrology is also the study of light in relationship to darkness, warm to cold, wet to dry. We will look into our calendar system, and we will see that lots of it is astrological in nature because they took meaning from the movements of the heavens in relationship to Earth. We will go through the symbols, the glyphs used for the planets and the sun and the moon. The sun and the moon were part of the classical planets. So when I say planet in astrology, we mean heavenly luminary. Now we will go through the numerology. From the relationship of the sun to the earth, we can measure using a number system. And 1 is different than 2, that is different than 3. And then 3 has a relationship to 1 that's different than 2. So we make sense of that. And astrology, you could say, is geometry, the study of angles and how that we interpret different relationships between different bodies by different characteristics by their relationship to each other spatially. For example, the sun in an opposite opposing position to Saturn is an adversarial type of energy. One is challenged to reconcile them in their life. We will go through individual birth charts, which is also called the nativity chart or a natal chart. And through our workshop, I will take questions about birth charts that we might have, and we'll learn how to read our own birth chart. And others, ultimately, is what one will be able to do after they go through these courses. My history with astrology has been around 6 years now, and I have a background in a master's of theology from a Catholic university, a religious studies background from a secular university, which gives me a unique, I believe, approach to the study of astrology. So numbers and how each planet has a number assigned to it. Then each of the 12 zodiac symbols, which are the circle, the 360-degree circle that we circle around the sun in, divided into 12 portions. We focus on the zodiac, which is a band of 18 degrees wide, because this is the path of the planets, the moon, and the sun. All travels in that path. We will look into Hermetic principles, 7 namely, who the first principle states that all is mind, capital mind, consciousness. And we partake in that. And that as above is such as to that below, which is a mystery we will delve into. We will also be looking through art and discovering astrological themes, oftentimes hidden inside of art, poetry, words, our very makeup of our words, the alphabet. We will look up and compare the alphabet, namely the Hebrew Aleph Bet, to the Tarot and the constellations and planets. It's all there. Kabbalah, which is a Jewish integration of Hermeticism and its esoteric practice, more mystical practice in Judaism. We will look at the Kabbalah Tree of Life. We'll look at the Tree of Life model coming from other Norse regions or Proto-Indo-European. We'll spend a good amount of time in elementary, in the beginning, going over the elements, namely fire, earth, air, and water, and even the aether. We will look into etymology, which is where these words came from, their origins. An interesting one is Aether, A-E-T-H-E-R. The gods of the Proto-Indo-European world, which is pre-Sumerian and Egyptian. They talk about the gods are they come from the Aesir, A-E-S-I-R, which relates to the Egyptian Osir or Osiris, a name for Orion. These are all things we will get into more depth. Some of the major important constellations being Orion, the brightest star in the night sky, Sirius, the dog star. We'll discuss the Milky Way and how the Milky Way shows up in much of our religious myths and literature and interpretations of the Milky Way. We will look to the fixed stars Aldebaran, who's in the eye of the bull, the bull's eye, and we will also display the archangels associated with these larger arches that they take up in the sky. Next, in the course, we will spend time going through mostly the major arcana of the tarot and looking into the symbolism hidden within, relating to astrology and numerology. We have the colors that relate to the visible heavenly luminaries, that relate to the chakras or magnetic centers. So we also have for each of the zodiacs, we have a yoga pose, we have a body part, we have internal organs, we have places in our brain. We will look at the cosmic body of which we find ourselves, reflecting a microcosm of that greater macrocosm, a Hermetic principle that we will explore more. We will look into what is divinization exactly. We will look into different methods of reading the cards. And then finally, we go into reading charts, the major angles or angels. We will look at different kinds of charts. You could do a heliocentric chart with the sun as the center, but we do more commonly a geocentric model of astrology because we are, in fact, on planet Earth. Fun fact, the name George, Geo, geography, the name George means worker of the earth. And we'll also do start things off with the astrology of the time, a little reflection. We'll learn how to do astral magic. We'll learn how to do sigils. We'll learn how to dress accordingly during the week to evoke and to work these energies that are present. Sometimes more subtle than others. Sometimes not so subtle. Such as the blazing frickin' sun in the middle of summer in Florida. Sheesh. So, my friends, that is a little bit of an introduction into what is going to be our Aquarian Astrology and Tarot workshop. And as you can see from the introduction, it's more than just astrology and tarot. It's numerology, it's hermeticism, it's esotericism, it's secret societal stuff, it's ceremonial magic. It is initiatory into the very mysteries of ultimate reality. You'll break through the veil and walk into the halls of Amente to meet the goddess of the night sky, Nephthys, who with her sister Isis, major and minor arcana, greet us at the entry. Isis says, "Know thyself." And then, I am all that ever was, that is, and that will ever be, and no mortal has lifted my veil. I look forward to hearing from you, creating community together, learning together, sharing together, making this world a more informed, enchanted, beautiful place. Let's go.